Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode number 7. Joined by the regulars, me, Sam, and Julian. And today we're going to be talking about the special one, Mr. Mourinho. We're going to talk about most recently the Atletico game, and he's been in the news a lot as usual for his mind games generally in the season, but more recently about Eden Hazard's efforts in the Atletico game. We're just going to get everyone's opinion on what they think of Mourinho in general. Do they like him as a manager? Do they like his mind games? What do you think? What we think he's done in previous clubs, and is he been successful as a manager? But we'll start with the starting point is the Atletico game, which is the most recent, which Chelsea lost. And Sam, what do you think of Mourinho's tactics against Atletico?
Um, well, everyone knew they were sort of going to park the bus, weren't they? Uh, but the difficulty that I'm sort of having understanding his tactics is that he's Mourinho and also he works for Chelsea Football Club, and their fans want them to dominate teams not only in the Barclays Premier League but in Europe, and they're not going to dominate teams with the way they're playing football. And I mean, you could probably put a lot down to like the way their strikers play at the moment. But I don't think you can justify having that much talent within their squad. Sort of a lot of around the number 10 area as well, and play that sort of football. I don't think you can justify that really. And the situation at Chelsea is very similar to the one at West Ham. You know, they don't like the type of football, and it'll be interesting. You know, even it doesn't look like they're going to win the title, but it'll be interesting come the end of the season. If they don't win anything, um, maybe you might hear a few um, comments about Mourinho whether he should stay or not. It will be interesting to see what happens.
I think my main problem was with the tactics. So the home team, like you said, he was supposed to put the emphasis on Atletico Madrid. And they were playing Aspilicueta, right wing, who's a defensive player. He's been great this season, but he's not an attacking player. And we had Oscar on the bench. For all those talents, they just played so defensively. And as soon as the first goal went in for Chelsea, we all knew what was going to happen. He was going to try and park the bus kind of thing. So it's very negative from him. It's probably worked for him in the past, that's why he's done it again. But this time he's failed. But one of the other aftermaths of the game, as I mentioned at the top of the show, was Eden Hazard and Mourinho's criticism of him and saying that the game was lost due to him not tracking back. The last man not to track back for Mourinho was Juan Mata, and he ended up at Man United. What do you think is going to happen to Hazard, Julian?
Based on this season, he's not going anywhere because I think he's been their best player this season.
Do you think it's justified, though, what Mourinho's saying about him, that he's not tracking back, he's not putting 100% in for Chelsea? That's the words he used. He's not giving 100%.
Well, I think he is giving 100%. Maybe not necessarily in the Atletico game, but I guess in that game as well, when Aspilicueta played right wing, I think he knows how good Atletico Madrid are, so he was cautious, and he knows that Aspilicueta will track back on the right hand side anyway. And as for Hazard, mm, like he said, like Mourinho said, he's not that type of player to track back, and Ronaldo wasn't either. But when he was at Real Madrid, he made Ronaldo
I think
do the difference.
I know what Mourinho needs to realise. He needs to have some luxury players and players that won't track back necessarily, because Hazard offers so much going forward.
Yeah, I
Else
think
doesn't offer them much going back.
Did you say he made Ronaldo, or did you say he made Ronaldo track back?
yeah.
Makes him track back.
Oh, I thought you said he made Ronaldo. I was like, what planet are you living on, man?
And I
Alright.
think sorry, go on.
Yeah, so what do you think, like, we want to talk about his 10 years at other clubs as well. So what do you think how did he do Real Madrid? I say he's not that successful, really, his Real Madrid stint, and he had a lot of money there, and some great players, and he wasn't successful there. So
He
it's
won,
quite
he won
strange.
3 trophies in 3 years with the team he had.
Yeah.
Everyone expected him to win more, especially with the squad he had midfield. But during that time, Barcelona were really dominant as well.
But if you look at the flip side, he won the Champions League with Porto, and he also made the Inter Milan side look the best team in the world at one point. What do you think it is, Sam? Do you think he's a good manager and the way he does things? Because he's done some good things with some small sides, but he's also failed at some big clubs as well.
It's difficult to say because like at Inter Milan, even though they were a really good team, like when that Inter Milan team played well, it was generally Diego Milito, Wesley Schneider, sort of doing the damage. So those sort of standout talents that they have made the difference. Whereas at Chelsea now, he hasn't. He has got Hazard, but Hazard's still quite young. In his development, he's still quite at the start of his development and stuff like that. And he's got all these other players as well, like Oscar. He had Mata as well. I don't know, for the life of me, I don't know why he sold him. I think there will become a point where, even though it sounds crazy, I think you have to question why he's not getting the best out of these players, like attacking wise. And I think he is going to come under fire for telling them to defend, because their job isn't to defend. Their job is to score goals and make sure when the team is defending, they're not under pressure, because if they do concede one goal, they're not going to lose all 3 points.
Yeah, it's a very good point you made there. And something that I didn't realise, to be honest. It's a good point that he might come under fire for it. So he's been linked with the Man United in the past at numerous points in his career. Would you have him? Obviously, I don't think he'll come now, but in the past, knowing how he is and stuff, would you have taken him like before Moyes and stuff like that?
No,
No?
no, I don't. I'm a fan of Mourinho, but I'm not. I wouldn't have him at Manchester United. Well,
My opinion on him is like I don't really like his attitude in like pre-match games, after games. Just his attitude. I like the manager. He gets results, man. You can't blame. You can't take anything from that. He wins trophies and stuff. And it's something that, as an Arsenal fan, we've not had in 9 years. So, but it's just his mannerisms. Like early in the season, he disrespected Wenger, which I didn't like personally. And obviously, I'll say that because I'm an Arsenal fan. But he was always saying things, he's always attacking referees and stuff like that. Especially his assistant manager's behaviour in the Sunderland game. You got a 6-match ban for that behaviour as well. Calling the referee a cheat, I think it's just taking it to another level, really, with that. What do you think, Julian, of his mind games? Are you impressed by them? Do you think they work? Or is he just trying to take the shine off his team?
I think it's getting to the point where it's getting annoying. When he first came to the Premier League, it was all new. This persona he had. It worked back then, but we know what Mourinho is all about now, and it's just getting to the point. Well, for me, it's getting annoying. Saying all these things, saying they were out of the title race 2 months ago or whatever. And going back to what Sam said about Hazard and the attacking players, I think when Abramovich bought Chelsea Football Club, he wanted to build a team to win the Champions League. And after the winning Champions League, he wanted a team that played attacking football. And if I don't think he's going to sack him, but if Mourinho doesn't bring that attacking football Abramovich wants to see next season, you never know. He might get impatient with him again, and you might see another departure.
Because Mourinho said after the Atletico game that next season they're going to buy players, they're going to improve, and they're going to be challenging on every front. So all season he's been saying that we're not in the race for anything this season and next season. So we'll see how that goes. Another question that was brought up in that same post-match interview was Courtois and Cech. The reporter asked him, "What do you think of Courtois' performance?" And he said, "I don't talk about other teams' players," which is very strange for him because he's actually a Chelsea player just on loan at Atletico. What do you guys think of that battle, Cech and Courtois? Courtois coming back to Chelsea next season. Who do you think they should be number one for next season?
Just before I answer that question, one of the papers this week, I think it was The Guardian, revealed that Chelsea have a whopping £950 million debt, which sort of puts them in a sort of a tight situation, because if they do want to go spending, they're going to have to generate any income to to even spend anything. So that would mean they might have to sell someone like Courtois to maybe get in a striker, because they could probably easily get 30, 35 mil for a keeper of his quality, especially if Diego Costa leaves Atletico Madrid. That could make funds available for the keeper. But I don't think Courtois will be the Chelsea goalkeeper next season. To answer your question.
You still think it'll be Czech, yeah?
Yeah.
And Julian, what do you think? Courtois, Czech?
I think Czech's gonna stay on for a few more years. He's still a top quality goalkeeper, you know. He's still, for his age, he's not very young for a goalkeeper, but he's still quality. He's still worth to be number one for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to go, and as we've all mentioned in other episodes, that this summer is going to be very interesting to see what happens, and I'm sure Mourinho's got some moves to go. So let's end the episode with a quick round-up. I say, do we think Mourinho's a good manager or not, and would you want him at your club? Sam's already said no to having him as Man United, but do you think he's a good manager, Sam? Yes or no?
I think he's a good manager, but at times he lets himself down, and at a big club you can't let yourself down.
Yeah, I think his behaviour and you should look at it a bit more. And I remember you watched it as well. Jamie Redknapp had a real go at him for his attitude and the way he was going at Chelsea.
Listen, if Jamie Redknapp says something, yeah, just ignore it because it's Jamie Redknapp. Plus, Jamie Redknapp was just hating on him because Liverpool lost 2-0. So let that be that. But if Gary Neville says something, stand off and pay
Not
attention.
biased at all, are you, Sam?
Stand off and pay attention.
So, Julian, Mourinho, good manager, yes or no?
There's no doubt he's a good manager. There's no doubt. Like I said, Abramovich wants to see attacking football, but like take the Liverpool game for example, he played such a tactical game and he won it. So he can't expect to see Chelsea fans can't expect to see attacking football week in week out. If you use the tactics to win the games, then that's what you can ask for, I guess. But yeah, there's no doubt he's a top manager.
I think it's a results business, and the special one gets results. And at the end of the day, he's winning trophies. He hasn't won anything this season, but I'm sure he'll win something in the future. But for today, that's today's episode, guys. Like, comment, tell us what you think of the special one. Do you think he's a good manager? What do you think of his attitude? What do you think is a mind games? But most importantly, subscribe if you want more. Also, we got our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all in the description below. So please follow us and catch up and see what's happening in the next episode. But for now, thank you.